Kenya has experienced high-level octane politics for the last few days, and Kenya is about to make history for the second time as far as the judiciary is concerned. Today we are going to have a very serious political show where we are going to dissect the matter of DP Gachagua. We've got a very solid panel. We've got but you know, I'm not sure of your name. Is it Fanya Mambo or Finya Mambo?
Fanya Mambo anafinya watu.
Fanya Mambo is a lawyer, and then we've got Owidi. Owidi is a public policy analyst with very specific interest in governance. Now let's start with Fanya Mambo. What do you make of this impeachment motion, the special motion against the DP Gachagua?
It's a good one for this country. I have always said, and I said it from the beginning, I never supported Kenya Kwanza. I never wanted to. They won. So they took power. They have led us badly and horribly. So now that they're in power and they are fighting, why do you want to interfere with them and they are fighting and they were not our friends? You let them fight in-house, box one another completely. Ours is to give them glucose when they need an energy drink here and there. We give them, we cheer them on. They box each other inside that house until they agree or disagree. As a person, I never wanted them both anyway. Mm-hmm. So when they are fighting, why would I want to interfere? If your enemy is making mistakes, you don't interfere. You let them make their mistakes. You let them, if they can reduce one another, that would be a good thing for us. So I am happy that they are fighting.
What do you make of those 11 grounds from a legal and a political perspective?
Those grounds, first and foremost, to me, don't make sense. You see, you have an administration that has failed, pointing at one of their own and saying that he has failed more than they have failed. I mean, Adani is worse than what we are seeing him being accused of. Schiff is worse than what we are seeing him being accused of. So if you ask me, those grounds are their kids' play compared to what William Ruto is doing. William Ruto is playing university stuff. This is kindergarten problems. Mm-hmm. So you are accusing the DP of... So you cannot separate William Samoei Ruto from Rigiji. You can't. The truth is, these people are tied to the hip and they behave the same way. And what Rigiji is doing is just a figment of imagination of what the boss is doing. Mm-hmm. I have told you, Rigiji is talking of the mountain, is talking of shareholders. The presidency is literally appointing. If I start naming now the energy sector right here from the top to the bottom, they could literally sit in a boardroom and speak their mother tongue. And that's the head of the entire energy sector. They don't need Kiswahili, they don't need English. So who is more tribal? So let's not have a conversation about the DP being tribal. Let's have a conversation about two people who are incompetent leading this nation together into an abyss that we don't know.
Odoyo.
Yes, sir.
The Fanya Mambo is suggesting that...
He's fighting impeachment motion. President William Ruto is fighting nothing. I have not heard a word from him about the impeachment motion against Rigiji.
But would the members of the National Assembly from Kenya Kwanza move on their own motion?
Would they move on their own motion?
Yeah, without...
The same way some of them are moving against that motion. Mm-hmm. It's the same one those who are moving pro-it are moving. Mm-hmm. It's the same one those who are moving pro-it are moving. Mm-hmm. So they can do it in their own motion. Now, the one narrative that has been going around that I want to dispense with now, once and for all, is this fact that people keep on repeating again and again, that President William Ruto has appointed members of his community to multiple parastatals compared to other communities. I tried to put down ones from Mount Kenya. It is double this one. You see, if you want us to believe that President William Ruto has appointed more Kalenjins in government than anybody, you should have put one community here, the so-called Kalenjins here, the Luos here, and you see the difference. When we set flags out of Nairobi to go to different parts of Kenya, 9 will be heading to Mount Kenya, 6 will be heading towards the Rift Valley, and so on like that.
I mean, how many to Coast, how many to Kisii, how many to Mandera, how many to Wajir?
Kisii probably even may just be one. So, and this is also because Rigiji himself have been putting president at ransom. You must send 5 cabinet positions, 6 cabinet positions, 8 cabinet positions to Mount Kenya because their votes were 47%.
But we don't need
you know, with Article 10,
yes.
Article 10, the philosophy behind Article 10 and Chapter 6 is to say that the cabinet reflects the face of Kenya.
Yes.
The principal secretary reflects the face of Kenya.
Yes.
The senior appointments to parastatals reflect the face of Kenya. Would you say the current public servants of rank, cabinet, principal secretaries, parastatal heads, do they reflect
I
the
think
face
what we need
of Kenya?
to do first is make that list and debate a list that is before us. As I am sitting here, I have the list of the Mount Kenya in government. You will even be wondering why they are saying, maybe let's agree that President William Ruto has appointed people from his community into government. But why is it the ones from his community that are being talked about when double that goes to Mount Kenya? Today, we have a chief of defense which comes from the same ward as the chief of police. And nobody's talking about it. Today, if you are to commit a crime, those who will arrest you will be headed by a police from the same place. The courts you will go to will be headed by a chief justice from the same place, and so on and so on. And nobody wants to talk about it. They want to talk about energy sector. They don't want to talk about security and finance.
But you're talking
when President
about
William Ruto appointed people here, the CS for Treasury was from. And what about the governor of Central Bank? These ones they don't want to talk about. They want to talk about energy. So if we are going to discuss who is where in this government, we must have the list of all communities, then we start talking. But don't produce one list, throw at people and say there are many. Because the people you are throwing that list to do not know that there are 380 parastatals in this country. So if you have 15 has gone to the Kalenjin or 20 or 30 or 60, and again, in a parastatal, the leader is not only the CEO or the chair or the board members. So you find in one parastatal, it is a board member who has been listed. In another one, it is the CEO. In another one, it is the chair. So when you add them, they come to about 90. Okay. But forgetting that where the chair is a Kalenjin there, the Kikuyu is the CEO. So let us put the list. Let us do a comparison. But also, there's something I want to say before you interrupt me with another question. This Adani thing. These people have succeeded in rubbing Adani thing until I had an MP elected by the people telling Kenyans that they have used Adani to clear the treasury of money. Adani has not even been signed into a binding contract.
Are you talking about Adani in relation to the airports?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So this Adani thing, we are being told that President William Ruto has used Adani to clear the coffers of this country. Nothing can be worse than the standard gauge railway that President Uhuru Kenyatta built from Mombasa straight to his farm in Naivasha without passing through the county of Nairobi.
Deputized by Ruto.
Yeah. If today we are going to accuse Ruto, then if you say Ruto deputized Uhuru, then we must accuse Gachagua the same way.
Yes.
But we are not going to do that because when you look at the constitution, there is no power and responsibility given to the DP anywhere in the constitution. Yeye anakaa hapo kama spare wheel. Ile siku rais atakuwa hayuko, he will act. So let us not put the DPs in this thing. But besides that, there is the expressway. There's no bigger scandal in this country like the expressway. And those are the only 2 projects in this country ever completed under PPPP. Only those 2. But they are serving one person. This is the same president that rebuilt the Nairobi-Nanyuki railway line just to transport oil to his place. And nobody was talking because they think only a non-person from the Murema should be accused of being tribal, of having scandals and so on. Let us have a Kenya where people are treated equally. You know, the fact that these people have made a team, a social media team, a talk show team that is supposed to demonize President William Ruto as much as they want, we will not allow it. It will be treated like everybody else.
Now, in context, you say we will not allow it. Who is we? And then is this impeachment motion opening up tribal wounds in Kenya?
I don't think I want to put it that way. I think Rigiji is his own man, and the mistakes he has done, he must account for them.
What are these mistakes?
Let me tell you what happened. President William Ruto visits Homa Bay. The next day you hear Rigiji saying, this government is like a company and only those who have shares will be appointed to it. People from Homa Bay visit State House. Rigiji is there again, reminding us that he has put roadblocks and cameras and what else in State House. That's not bizarre. The problem with Rigiji did not want a certain community to be in this government. That is the problem. And people fear telling him because he's told people he's a truthful man. He is not a truthful man. He's a brazen man. A man who would say things I would be too embarrassed to say in public when I'm the DP.
Fanya, is Owidi making fair accusation that DP Gachagua did not want parts of Kenya in the administration?
Owidi is making serious mistakes. First and foremost, I have never shied away from saying I was in Azimio. And the reason I was in Azimio is because I did not believe in the leadership of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. When Azimio joined Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto, I left Azimio on principle because I did not believe in the presidency of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua as capable of transforming this country or leading this country or helping this country. So when I hear people who by choice, and he talks of communities that Rigiji did not want to be in this government. First and foremost, even those communities did not want to be in this government. That's why they voted for a different entity. But you see, once you become president of all Kenyans. On principle, I have refused to be part of. I would have easily joined with my Azimio people and say, is now broad-based. Sisi kama Azimio ningia mahali hata mimi. But on principle, because I do not believe in the ideologies of William Ruto and the ideologies of Rigathi Gachagua, I have chosen not to work with this administration. So you cannot come on the one hand, like our good friend Raila Amolo Odinga, say that I don't support this government at some point and then end up working with them. It doesn't augur well for countries. Secondly,